In Camden, where lead has also been a problem, Virtua Health is holding free screenings for kids to have their blood tested to see if lead levels are elevated in their systems. As Raven Santana reports, it's an important program there since Camden's kids have alarmingly high levels of lead poisoning.
Virtua's Pediatric Mobile Services is using bubbles as a helpful strategy to test more than a dozen kids under the age of 6 for lead at the Acelero Learning Kroc Center in Camden.
Camden City, at least with our testings, we test about 14% of the children have elevated lead levels, and that's compared to 2.5 children nationally.
The clinic is one of 8 being held by Virtua Health this month in an effort to help detect lead poisoning in children.
Most doctors' offices do not provide the lead screening. They are given a script to go to a lab to get a blood draw, and a lot of families don't have the time to do that, may not have the financial means to do that, may not have the transportation. But I think one of the main things is they don't understand why they need to do it. They don't understand how devastating lead and elevated lead levels in the blood can be. It's neurological, it can be irreversible neurological damage. So developmental delays, speech and hearing issues, vision issues, a lot of behavioral issues you see in children, and then that leads to, could be aggression, mental health status later in life.
Look, we're gonna play a bubble game.
Registered nurse Susan McCleary has the important task of testing children for lead. She says the process is just as quick and easy as the results.
Do a tiny little prick in their finger. Most of the times the kids do not feel it at all. After I get that specimen, I actually run it on the analyzer that we have here on the van, and it takes 3 minutes for me to get that result. All of our results are reported to the state daily. There are lead levels that are made by the CDC and the state of New Jersey. They want it to be under 3.3. So our machine will detect anything over 3.3, but over 5 is the level where we recommend that they get the venous draw. And we do this, Raven, on kids 6 and under because that is when the brain is still growing and vulnerable for lead to interfere with that growth.
In addition to the free lead testing, Virtua Pediatric Mobile Services also offered other health screenings and resources to raise awareness about lead exposure.
Today we're also offering dental screenings, and that is because lead can affect the enamel growth on the teeth, and a lot of children who have elevated lead levels have a lot of oral health issues, a lot of cavities, things like that. We also have a St. Joseph's Carpenter Society here. They do lead abatement in homes because it's very important for us to also screen homes for lead, not just kids.
Here in Camden, we have a majority of our homes were built before 1978 where lead was outlawed. A majority of the homes have lead paint in them. Not only the kids are eating the lead paint, it's the lead dust. That is the biggest issue. When you have an old house or old windows and old doors, you're opening and closing, and the door jamb or the window frame, the dust emits, and then you're breathing it in.
According to new research published over the summer, despite successful efforts to reduce lead exposure from places like lead paint and water pipes, the toxic metal still can be found in some consumer products. Kate Porterfield, lead author of the study by Pure Earth, found those consumer products may be the main source of lead exposure in some cases, especially those imported from other countries with more lax or even non-existent laws around limiting lead levels.
We suspect that a lot of these products are being hand carried through travel or through the mail. They also might be purchased through online retailers like eBay and Etsy. And for this reason, the US regulations just can't get to those products the way they could traditionally imported ones. So they're slipping through the cracks.
Emerson says the mobile lead testing will extend throughout the year to combat what she believes is a lead poisoning crisis here in Camden. For NJ Spotlight News, I'm Raven Santana.